Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hairy Muppet. Welcome to another daily Masters cast here on Hairy Muppet Starcraft channel. So, going to be going into double mouse sports game, mouse versus mouse. It is going to be MaNa, a red Protoss player, down the bottom left side of the map, and VortiX, a blue Zerg player, down up the top left side of the map. Actually, it's going to be really awesome, and this is going to be continuing on our series of daily Masters casts from the WCS Season 2 European Final. Regional European Final. Yeah, whatever. So, it's going to be awesome. We're on the same map as we were last time. I do believe this is the same map, so that's going to be pretty awesome. And as we did last game, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of very early expansions. We saw, I think it was TLO versus MMA last game, Terran versus Zerg, so Protoss versus Zerg, not too different in terms of the expansions that we're going to be seeing. So MaNa is probably going to be expanding at the same times, VortiX is going to be expanding at the same times. MMA actually did a really early expansion. He started his command center. It was a command center before barracks, pretty much. So if we saw a Nexus before Gateway coming out from MaNa, I would not be at all surprised. Look at this guy, just going to be stealing some minerals there. Yeah, there we go. He's actually cancels mining at the last second, just so we can keep doing that, so we can keep annoying VortiX, which is a very nice little trick. Actually, I haven't seen that done before. You start mining to interrupt these guys, and just before you would finish mining, the point you grab the crystal, you just sort of cancel it, move away, and then you jump back on, so you could constantly interrupt them. And here's that very early Nexus that I was talking about from MaNa, and he's actually got it down before VortiX. Somehow he's got it down before VortiX, and that is that little probe doing the hatchery dance managed to save it. So this is 14, this is 34. So very nice job there on MaNa, getting his natural down before VortiX, and that is going to help him quite a bit. Of course, we can always expect VortiX to get the third base down a lot sooner than MaNa can, because of course Zerg needs that production capability from the hatchery. It helps early game. It's just basically it increases the amount of workers you can build by 50% early game, and that is not something that you can really sneer at too much. So anyway, there we go. Bunch of actual buildings going down. Got a gateway finally coming out. We've got the photon cannon, so it's a forge fast expand. And I feel like you probably built the forge after the Nexus though, but that's fine. Gotta be just managing to hold on here. And the cannon starts to come out, so I had to sacrifice a probe to hold that off. Very scary, but still managed to do it. And that, I feel like that was another forge there, or another gateway or something. He should have built another gateway there and then just kept it going and just actually built it. But whatever, I think he actually wants to build a cyber core there. So yeah, that's probably right. Probably wants to build a cyber core there, which is what we're going to be seeing right about now. Beautiful. I guess he didn't really want a second gateway or a second forge that early, because of course a mineral, like a mineral right now is worth 10 minerals now. So even if he cancels it, even though he needs the gateway like 5 minutes down the road, he'd be better off cancelling it and using those minerals for something else early game. Just because minerals are so much more valuable early in the game. So that's probably why he did that. So yeah, this worker going to be zooming around looking for the third. And the third is going to be found right there. So that is fine. And MaNa probably saw how far along that is as well. So he knows that the third base has been built. And now we're going to start getting into the various tech options. What are players going to go for? I mean, level 1 weapons off the early forge, very nice thing to go for. And most players who do a forge fast expand, you will see them do that. So that's fine. No crazy buildings really built. I mean, it's only the 6-minute mark, but of course we could be looking at a Templar Archives. We could be looking at a Roach Warren, an early lair maybe. Has VortiX not even started mining any gas? He's only just started getting the gas geysers. Man, that's some late gas. That's some very late gas, but he's really pumping out the workers. So that late gas he's been going nuts on the workers as fast as he possibly can. And I suppose you don't really need early gas when you are going for roaches. You can afford to leave it a little bit, concentrate on the workers, and then once you actually get your roach warren out, you've got more gas than you know what to do with, because of course you've got more workers than you know what to do with. So yes, he's up 8 workers in the lead. MaNa is not going to let him keep that lead, but he may not be able to do much about it because VortiX, of course, can build a ton of workers. And that was close, almost supply cap there. And there we go, Forge and a Twilight Council going down. Twilight Council, alright, so there's a couple of different things. Blink Stalkers, maybe not. That's probably not super crazy. Could be thinking about Storm. Storm is probably going to be my pick for the Templar Archives. Of course, it could just be for Zealot Leagues, which every Protoss player will want to get Zealot Leagues at some point. It is never... I mean, there is basically no play style unless you go mass air, in which Zealot Leagues is not a good option. So anyway, we will see exactly what happens there. Level 2 weapons and level 1 armor coming out. VortiX, I don't believe he has jumped on the upgrade train at all yet. He has jumped on the army train though, and getting a whole bunch of roaches. So he may be looking to finish it off in the next couple of minutes. But he's getting ling speed as well, so maybe he's got a bunch of lings that he wants to make use of. Yeah, 25, 26, that's definitely something he can make use of. And he still managed to keep in the lead with the harvesters. And this is actually going to be a nice, very, very nice place to hit him. He must know that MaNa is, yeah, because there was a ling here, so he knows that MaNa is expanding. Beautiful time to send in all those units. The gate is way open. The lings are all going in. And the roaches are coming up. So MaNa is going to have to fight very, very hard to survive this attack. And where is the Nexus Overcharge? Where's the Mothership Core? No Mothership Core, no Nexus Overcharge. There it is, all the way over there. So he's going to try and kill this. An Immortal coming out, and he desperately needs that Immortal for when the roaches show up. So there we go, the Immortal coming out, the Robo Facility barely surviving, and suddenly he is dealing with a whole ton of roaches over here. If only this Nexus was built, he could Nexus Overcharge it, but that's fine. And a constant stream of roaches and lings coming in, and the pressure that VortiX is putting on MaNa right now is absolutely crushing. He can the only thing he really do is sort of sit back here, try and get some Immortals out to fend off this roach pressure, but cancelled it at the very, very last second, so keeping them there to the very, very end. The Immortal coming out a little bit too far, gets trapped, gets taken out. That was huge. Losing one Immortal in a battle like this is huge, absolutely huge. He's going to keep this guy alive, going to be knocking out some roaches, manages to force a hole there, but the roach numbers are still really, really awesome. And it's going to come down to some force field play, keeping his Immortals alive, keeping them hitting, and I don't know, even if VortiX loses this battle, I still think he's in an excellent position for the rest of the game, because he's denied MaNa's third base. He's in an easy position to get his fourth, as we've just seen right there. His fourth goes down. So economically, he's going to be doing a beautiful, beautiful job. And once he's happy that MaNa is nice and scared, he can explode his worker count. He just build 50 billion workers at once. And MaNa will have to do a sharp counter. But even a sharp counter with all these guys, I don't think he can really hit VortiX that hard. I mean, you know, a bunch of lings there, a bunch of roaches there. He just doesn't have the numbers. He's got a lot of nice tech here. But, I mean, look at this. Bunch of workers coming out on top of these Hydras. So, with the Hydras, he's fairly confident that he can hold off against MaNa's counterattack. And now he's going to be getting a ton of workers. And VortiX is just going to be beautiful right now. Absolutely beautiful. He's starting to catch up on the upgrades. That's the only thing he's really been lacking, is the upgrades. I mean, MaNa started on level 3 weapons. And that's insane for the 13-minute mark. But VortiX only just now getting 1-1. And it's fine, because he's got a ton of units. These, oh man, all over the place. He's gotta try and whittle these roach numbers down. And this is excellent, actually. 3 Immortals, and VortiX is in a little bit of a bad position here, actually. He's tried to do a double-pronged attack, and it's worked, because these lings are going nuts. They've forced the cancel on that Nexus, but VortiX lost so many units there, and suddenly the Roach Hydra, I mean, they did great pressure a couple of minutes ago, but now it's looking like VortiX has a very, very decent army to trade off against the Roach Hydra, and it's not even a Colossus army. So VortiX can't just get Corruptors and suddenly he's countering everything. It's a bloody Zealot Sentry Immortal army, and this is going to be a little bit dodgier for him to try and face. He's doing a fairly good job, and I mean, Ling Hydra is going to be exactly what he needs here. Hydras are going to do an excellent job shredding everything, and now the Roaches are starting to come out. I'm not sure about continued use of the Roaches, but we will see. And MaNa is going for a ton of Stalkers here, which I don't know if I agree with, because Hydras shred. But I don't know. I mean, the Stalkers, they're definitely doing something here. They're just, the pure damage output of the Stalkers is starting to help, and I guess the fact is VortiX doesn't have an extremely large amount of Hydras, so he doesn't really have to worry about facing off a massive Hydra army. He just has to worry about a few of them, and the Stalkers are doing quite well at destroying those Hydras. And this core, they're hiding under the Overlords, actually doing a pretty good job. Still 2 Immortals alive, and now MaNa is going to be fighting back, and VortiX just sending in reinforcements bit by bit, not the way to go. He's got to build up a large force, and I think he's still trying to save this base. But I do not know if he can actually make that happen. He's actually out of force fields. MaNa's out of force fields, so as soon as these guys go down, he's going to be being attacked from both directions. Where is the Warp Prism? I think it's gone down, and here is when MaNa starts to be in a bit of trouble. So MaNa managing to do a bit. Oh, look at the Zealot. He's got to take the Zealot out before it kills his hatchery. Beautiful, beautiful. So VortiX managing to hold that off. Took quite a bit of damage. Have a look at the income. Yeah, that's too old. Is it? No, that's actually up to date. That is up to date, so we're not looking at a really old replay. So what we're looking for anyway, a whole bunch of Lings taken out. Workers. Yeah, so VortiX lost 21 workers versus the 11 that MaNa's lost. And that attack really took out a lot of workers, it seems like. And look at all these units taken out. Absolutely insane. For this early in the game, they just lost so many units. It's not even funny. 30 Hydras, 60 Roaches. And if we have a look at the units here, see that's 68 versus 21. So I'm not messing this up. That is the actual amount of units they have lost. And that is insane. I feel like the Protoss is doing yeah, look at that. He's doing a lot better. He's 4,000 less lost. And I'm sure VortiX was getting a lot more income, but he's not now. And MaNa, if he keeps doing what he's doing, then I feel like he's going to be in a great position now. He's got the 3 weapons. He's got 2 armor on the way. VortiX just now getting level 2 weapons. And he's got the 1-1. So he's got a massive amount of Hydras now. And this is going to do great against MaNa's army. I mean, Stalker's going to get shredded. Zealots, he doesn't have Zealot League, so they're going to get shredded as well. The Immortals, not going to do anything versus Hydras. And the Sentries, yeah, they're DPS-wise, not all that good. So far, this massive amount of Hydras, oh, look at the Immortals go down. I mean, he doesn't really have anything that's good against the Hydras. He's got stuff that can get the job done, but he doesn't have stuff that's good, like really good. And here we go, the Hydra's starting to go to work against the Stalker army. The Stalker's blinking back, and that's doing a really great job. Warping the Zealots in the front, that's doing a really great job as well, trying to turn the tide. And it looked like he might have been working a little bit, but the Hydras, they are still better. The Hydras are a good counter versus the Stalkers, and the Stalkers eventually just cannot stand up to the Hydra army. And now this base is going to start tasting the pain. But meanwhile, MaNa getting 4 Zealots over there. He's got a whole bunch of Zealots over here. So he is doing his own counterattack with less units, getting the job done. Absolutely fantastic stuff here. These guys should probably attack move or something like that, but they're concentrating on the hatchery. And VortiX, it's even more necessary that these guys really go in and really start doing some damage, because, yeah, he just lost 2 bases. And he did not really defend all that well versus these guys. So he's got to make something really, really big happen here. And the force fields are slowing him down so much, although his full army has got through here. and these guys trying desperately to last as long as they can, but right now, this feels like me playing ladder where I've got absolutely no units and the enemy comes in with a massive army and I'm like, oh shit, I played this wrong. Except MaNa actually did play this right, he just got overwhelmed and look at the Hydras are coming in and there we go, there's the GG. All that beautiful harassment at the 3rd and 4th of VortiX could not stop the pain train of Hydras coming into his main base, and in the end, it's just going to have to be a GG, man. It's too many Hydras, and MaNa did not have one of the classic counters. I mean, he didn't have Storm, he didn't have Colossus, he didn't even have Zealot legs, so he really had no chance against that many Hydras, and VortiX knew it, which is probably why he built so many. So anyway, that is it. Daily Masters done for today. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some more Daily Masters. Stay tuned. This has been Harry Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this game.